Friends, today we'll talk about a very veteran leader of our independence fight, or you can say the struggle for the freedom of India. And he was a very veteran leader, also considered as a father of nation. Now you may guess I'm talking about Mahatma Gandhi. Yes, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, born in Gujarat. He was a very veteran leader. I also think that Subhash Chandra Bose was very right in his perspective about fighting with the Britishers regarding fighting with weapons, fighting with not only with demonstrations or positions, but also with the arms and ammunitions, fighting by making a proper soldiers team or making a army, the bloody army which can fight with the Britishers in order to gain independence or liberate India from the British or foreign alien rule. But if we have to see two consequences. One is we have to remind the 1857 revolt, because at that time the Indian soldiers, many of the soldiers who were worked with Britishers were mutinied, and also many other small kingdom soldiers and kingdoms petty kings were also involved in the 1857 revolt. They all are armed, but they are not able to fight with the Britishers with the armed revolution. But if we see, I'm not saying that they cannot or we could not, the Subhash Chandra Bose could not win the with armed revolution, but we have to see that Britishers are superior in armed forces. They are superior than us at that time. So we have to fight with them with the non-violence. The approach which Gandhi Ji made, he has started at Champaran village, and the method of fasting, taking fast till death. If they will not accept the demands of peasants, the Gandhi started fasting till death, and that was the best weapon to fight with the Britishers, because they got a new thing. They got it that if you will not grant them their demand, some of the demands, they will die with fasting in protesting against us, and it will cause very much demoralization of or defamation of the British rules all over the world, because they were ruling almost many of the countries in the world at that time. They were regarded as superpower at that time. So they thought, if these some peasants would die of fasting against us, this will be defame the Britishers. So in order to avoid their defamation, they avoided with the demands of the peasants and the protest led by Gandhiji by fasting. That was the very brilliant move by Mahatma Gandhi. And after that he went to Gujarat. There the cause for the factory workers, and after he found many of the freedom struggles, he had participated almost all after he came in the active politics in 1905 or some after that. And if you see, Gandhiji's thoughts were very good, very liberal. He also don't wanted that Britishers should rule India. He also wanted full freedom, but he was some of moderate leaders. We know they are extremist and moderate leaders in our Indian National Congress, which are formed for liberating India. So he was also a moderate leader. So he also wanted somewhat of liberation, not somewhat of liberation, full liberation. But the way of violence, he is not considered good, because he also know the weak points of our Indians, because we don't have that much of training, that much of ammunition we require to fight with them. The same thing, the Bhagat Singh ji, a very great freedom fighter, was died hanged till death by the Britishers. That was very brutal. He bombed in the parliament, and that was a kind of violence he started, and also murdered the Saunders, a British man, and that was a kind of violence fighting against Britishers, and he hanged till death. So Gandhiji don't want to lose other Bhagat Singh, like I am comparing, like Subhash Chandra Bose or many other leaders. He don't want to lose because he know the worth of them in the freedom struggle of India. So he opted for the non-violence, but he also wanted the bloody freedom. Thank you so much for watching this, and I think that your thought may somewhat change, or because today's generation is not accepting Gandhiji as a not, I'm not talking about everyone, but some are there who are not accepting Gandhiji's rule of non-violence is led to the freedom of India. Not alone non-violence, but along with all the things, non-violence is also a very big factor, and that was the tool of Gandhiji. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.